What's up, everyone? Jared here with Stan's Auto Reviews, and today I got a sick one for you. A 2022 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Don't even make these anymore. Super sick, supercharged LT4. You know the drill. We're going to show this vehicle off, take it for a drive. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the front, this thing just looks absolutely fantastic. You have the iconic Chevrolet Camaro front end. You do have that flow tie, which we will get closer up to show, and that small grille to go down to the bigger one for ventilation. Headlight design is very minimalistic and sleek. You do have more ventilation down here along with a light to go. We have a splitter down here. It's gloss black, looks very good, and the entire splitter along with the entire body all lines up on all the edges. It's just super good looking. And on the hood, you have ZL1 up top, and you do have a nice ventilation spot right here to help cool off that engine. Overall, great looking front end, aggressive front end. You see this thing coming, you know there's either a race coming or somebody just loves their car. Let's go ahead though, show off the side. Can't forget to mention, because I did, you got ZL1 up there. Gotta make sure I tell all y'all that. Coming to the side of this amazing ZL1, you have the classic Camaro look that we have had since about the 2010s that they used pretty much the entire time. They just kept expanding upon. Going up to the front, let's start off with these rims. These things look amazing. Absolutely good design, multi-spoke design. I love the gunmetal gray finish on them. And for this one, we're running on 285 30 ZR20s on the front, and we'll go check out the back in a second. Getting up, you have your nice side mirror, kind of small, but it is there. All the body lines look amazing. You do have a little side skirt that protrudes out here, gloss black, just like the front is. You do have your door handle right here with push to lock, push to unlock. And then coming down to your back wheel, which is the same exact thing, except it's a little different. So we have 305 30 ZR20s. So wider back end, obviously we all know why. And this thing was just built to be a monster on the road. And then right here, the body line goes out, kind of gives it like a wide body look. I just think it looks super nice, super aggressive. And then we have the spoiler along with our reflector, but we're going to go to the back and show off more of that spoiler, more of the trunk, and continue this. I think the back of this ZL1 looks absolutely amazing. I love the taillight design, two here, along with your reverse lights in the middle. I just think it looks super good how they did it. Very minimalistic. It doesn't look silly like some of the earlier generations did, kind of bland, I guess I should say. You have a black Chevy emblem back here, kind of resembles the flow tie, but it's definitely not. You have your spoiler up here, you have your brake strip, ZL1 down here, just like the front, you have ZL1 twice. You have your sensors for backing up. And then we have our quad tip exhaust that sound absolutely bleeping amazing. If I could say the word, I would. This thing just sounds phenomenal. And along with that, to note, up here, you have a camera that acts as a rear view camera on the inside. So that way when you can't see crap out of this back window, you can use that. So pretty neat. We're going to go ahead though and move along to the inside of the vehicle. All right, so before we hop in, I just want to show how nice these seats are. You have ZL1, they are Walkarows. We have Alcantara in the middle. You have leather on the sides. It's held up so well since 2022. I know it's not that old, but it's held up super well and it looks super nice. And then coming over to the door before hopping in, because it'll be such a pain, more Alcantara all around. You got your door handle here, lock, unlock, seat settings, window controls, mirror controls. We do have the Bose sound system in this thing, sounds phenomenal. Your trunk release is down there, and you do have a little cubby. This is one of the few places you have to store stuff. So let's go ahead and fully hop into this Camaro and show it off. So I got to get down a bit for this one, but this is where it gets fun because I'm 6'6". The Camaro's not the biggest car on the inside, but we're going to show you how I fit, and we'll see how a tall 6'6" person fits inside. So let's go ahead and do it. So I have to seat all the way to my position and getting in. Now, once you're in, it's really not too bad. I mean, my head brushes a little bit right here because the sunroof. My legs are honestly okay, and I have room. So if you love this car and you want it, and you're 6'6", or you're a tall person in general, you can make it work. Just know it's not the most practical vehicle, but I'm going to go ahead and show you why this interior is so nice. So come on, hop inside with me. Okay, so after 5 business days of me getting in, finally inside, ready to film this thing. So let's go ahead and hear that door close. Sounds great. Sounds awesome. All right, let's get to business. We have a VIN over here. You have your heads-up display button over here, info button over here as well, and your dim or brighten button on this side. You do have lights down here that illuminate, that help you at night to see the pedals. Coming back, you do have your Alcantara steering wheel with paddle shifters. Very nice. Heated steering wheel also. Can't forget that, along with all your different controls, cruise control, all that different stuff. You have ZL1 down here. That way you don't forget what you have. Up here, gauges look super nice. You have a pretty cool design right here. Kind of goes with the body lines. But again, gauges are sweet. It is digital in the middle. So let me start this thing up. Foot on the brake real quick. Before I start it, I want you to see this key fob. And I should have had this out before. So my apologies for this delay right here that I'm giving you. But here's a key fob. Generic Chevy key fob, nothing crazy. But foot on brake button is an interesting one. Looks like that. And let's hear this thing roar. This thing is just insane. It just sounds amazing. I don't know, it's just insane. So let me turn that radio down. I don't need a copyright strike. And let's turn this fan down just a little bit. But as you can see, like I said, it is digital up there. Coming over, you do have your radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is kind of small, but in this car, that's not what you should be worrying about. You should be worrying about the experience. Down here, all your climate controls, along with your seat heated and cooled controls. And you may be wondering, how do I raise the temperature or lower the temperature? There's no button for that. It's all done right here, which I think is a pretty neat feature. So that's how you do that. Super nice. Coming down, you have your shifter right here. Nice material, just like the wheel. Super nice. Coming down, you have your traction control off button, your park brake, and you have your modes. So we just flip through those real quick. We've got track, snow, ice, sport, and tour. And just so you know, whenever you do this, the interior lighting, which is right here, changes. So you see I have it in sport mode and it's red. Say I change it to tour and it changes over. You can also customize this as well. But yeah, that's how that works, and I think that's pretty neat. Coming back over here, you do have two cup holders right here. They're small, but they're there for use. And then you have a tiny center console. You're not gonna fit much in there, but hey, at least they gave you one, right? Over here, we do have carbon fiber material. Up here is hard plastic, but let's just focus on the carbon fiber. And then coming up, like I said, if you flip this, you can make it an actual rear view, but this is the camera I was referencing earlier. Then you have all your different stuff, your sunroof, lights, you know, all that good stuff. Speaking of sunroof, there it is right there. Looks pretty sweet. And I mean, just look at this thing. I have my stuff right there, so ignore that, but there's the room you get. Now, I'm not getting in the back seat, but don't think you're gonna fit anyone back there, even a child, because it's not really gonna happen. There's like no room back there. But it is an option. And along with that, just a couple things to note. You do have a backup camera, so when you go back up, it's decent looking. I'll show you real quick. There's my tripod, but you see, backup camera, not terrible quality. And overall, this thing is super nice. So let's go ahead and show off that trunk space, because you're gonna need it eventually. Let's do it. Quick showing off the trunk space, because you might need it one day. It's actually pretty decent. I will say right here is a very small gap to get stuff in, but once you get in there, it's actually pretty deep and you have plenty of room. It's a little narrow, but you know, this car is not really meant for this, but you do have it, and this is what you get. You also have your manual release if someone gets caught in there. So that's what we're looking at there. Now what I want to do is I want to show off the engine, and I want to show off this spectacular exhaust, and then we're gonna go for a drive, because this is gonna be fun as hell. So let's do it. For this 2022 ZL1, you have the amazing 6.2 liter supercharged LT4 V8 engine that makes 650 horsepower at 6,400 RPMs and 650 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPMs. That's a lot of fun. You have a 10-speed automatic transmission on this one. You can get the manual option also. Fuel, not something you really want to look at, but 14 city, 20 highway, 16 combined, and it is a 19-gallon fuel tank that takes premium fuel, so be ready to have your wallet ready. For the length of the vehicle, we're at 190.2 inches, and the width, without the mirrors being included, is 75 inches. And overall, you're just getting yourself a heck of a car, and I mean a heck of a car. everyone. So I found a nice place to stop down the road from where I filmed this, and we're gonna go ahead and take a drive of the Camaro. Just gonna be a super quick drive, I think. I'm not gonna go super far. Traffic is terrible. Anyone that knows Atlanta, it's crazy. So we're gonna try to drive down, get some of this, and just get some reaction. Hopefully this POV is good. I'm super tall, so it's kind of hard to do, but we're gonna do our best with it. So without any further waiting, let's get on with it. Got our heads-up display here, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I think I mentioned the button, but not it directly. So you do have heads-up display. Now let's go ahead and get this thing out for a quick drive, shall we? Right off the bat, sounds amazing. And you can hear that supercharger just wee, wee. Butler Tire. Shout out to Butler Tire. One day I'd love to do some videos with them if they ever need someone to do some videos with. But yeah, plan is to go straight here, so I may cut this off that way you don't have to sit here with me forever, and come back whenever we're done. But before I do that, there's a Taycan and a Ferrari over there, which is absolutely awesome. Out here in Buckhead, or Atlanta in general, there's some amazing cars out here. Absolutely amazing cars. The stuff that people have is just insane out here. And those are two examples straight ahead. So setting off, of course, there's a lot of traffic, so it makes it so difficult, but we're gonna do what we can and let this thing unleash just a little. You know, it's not my car, so I'm not gonna go crazy with it, but I do still want you to hear it and just, you know, grasp how nice this thing is. So this road looked kind of decent from what I saw. Also a nice Porsche right there. I like that. Let's give it just a little, nope. Okay, now let's give it just a little go. Oh. So I didn't even really go that much, and for those of you that own it, you probably make fun of me, but this thing is just fun, and the power is just right there. You hit it and it goes, and you can just, it's awesome. This thing's sweet. Let's go ahead and do it again right here. Woo! Okay. Wow. This thing is a monster. Oh my goodness. The sounds and the feels and the car, you could just feel it wanting to take off, and I would love to take off so much more, but this is not the place or the time to do that. But I'm just blessed to be able to even get this video for you guys and show you what this thing's about, you know. Brakes, testing, pretty instant. Let's go ahead and get on by right here. Man, Chevrolet, man, why'd y'all stop making this? Y'all need to get back on it. This whole hybrid EV thing, it ain't it. This is where it is, right here. This is where it is. You gotta be careful around here too. These roads, look at that. That's dangerous. Nice M right there. M4, I believe it was. Nah, this thing's sweet though. I love this thing. It grips you in. These Recaro seats, they hold you, and you feel so planted in this thing. And you know, I'm only going like 30, you know, not even 30 now, and I just, you know, it doesn't feel like it at all, and it just sounds so good. Let's just stay silent and just listen. Now it is definitely practical too, in the sense that you don't always have to be hitting it. You can just kind of ease, and it's okay. So here we go. Take a listen. Woo-hoo-hoo! Man, let's test these brakes. This thing stops, man. This thing's awesome, man. I want one. I want one of these so bad. Let's cut it off here, and we'll continue when this light goes green. From a stop sign, or a red light, I should say. Woo! Man, this thing is crazy, and I'm not even doing its full potential. I'm being safe, obviously. I'm not gonna hit it all the way, because these things, you know, rear-wheel drive, a lot of power, 650 horsepower, plus any sort of mods, it'll go, and it'll get away from you real quick, and that's why I'm gonna be careful. But whew, this thing's awesome. Now, I have driven the Hellcat before. It was a Hellcat Red Eye. That thing was great too. You know, it had the same kind of feeling, but that felt a little more boaty than this. Maybe it's hard to explain, but it felt more floaty, boaty kind of, whereas this thing, it just feels so planted. And even though you can probably feel like, oh, maybe the back end won't get away from you, it just feels so planted. It doesn't feel as planted as the GTR I drove, but it still feels planted. And I just freaking love the sounds of this thing and the looks of this thing and just the overall vibe on the inside. But we are going to find a way to turn around, take this stretch back, and then we'll call it a video from there. So let me go ahead, find my way around here. I'll be right back. All right, so taking off, and as you can see, people don't understand how lights work. Nice job running it. This thing's unreal. Now they got a yield there, so let's make sure they're yielding. Yep. All right, we got a little open area, so let's go ahead and just feel the power. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine pushing this thing 0 to 60. That's just phenomenal. That's just phenomenal. It's like this scary but also assuring feeling. It's a mix of both worlds in this thing, I feel like. And this is the first Camaro I've ever done a video on, second Camaro I've ever driven, but the other one was just an SS, which, don't get me wrong, SS is awesome. I mean, those are great cars, but this thing with its supercharger is just unreal. And the LT4, legendary engine, had in the Z06, the CTSV, you had them in these obviously, and such a great engine, hand built. What more can you want, right? I mean, I wish we still were in a world where these were made, but we're in this sad world, and no hate towards Dodge, but I don't get it. You know, these hybrids and EVs and stuff, and shout out to Mustangs and Ford, but for keeping it. And who knows if Camaro's gonna come back as something different. Currently it doesn't look like it, but we'll see. But focusing on this thing, driving experience, my thoughts, totally worth it. If you want one, get one. I think not only are they gonna hold their value well, but I think one day they're gonna be collector's items, because there's nothing really like it. It's just, you know, great car, built well, sounds well, and you'll love it. So if you're looking to get one of these, 100% please get one. Totally worth it. I would 100% buy this if I had the money for it. Maybe one day I will. But that's it for the drive, I think. We're gonna go ahead and move one more time so you can hear the car. Then we're gonna end it there and go to the outro. So here you go. It's just phenomenal. So phenomenal. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for our drive. Let's go ahead and cut to the outro. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. This thing is an absolute monster, and I can see why people love them so much. That supercharged LT4, the power it pushes is just unreal, and it's truly a shame that we're in an era where cars like this are going away. But I can see why people love these, and this thing is just phenomenal. So if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out, please like, share, subscribe, help us out. We're trying to hit the 2,000, hopefully by the end of the year. We're a growing page, so any chances we get will be great. And for more videos like this, stay tuned. Till the next video, I'll see you guys. Peace out.